From food to the brain, what if we suck all the fluid out of the brain? And consider its nutritional composition? At that time, most of the brain mass was fat, also known as lipid. The rest are proteins and amino acids, micronutrients and glucose. The brain, of course, not only contains nutrients, but each component has a certain effect on the function, evolution, mood, and energy. So sleepy after lunch and the rest of the night, most likely simply the effect of food on the brain. Among the fats in the brain, the main stars are omega-3 and 6. These are important fatty acids, can reduce brain degeneration, and can only be absorbed through the diet. So eat lots of omega-rich foods like nuts and fatty fish is a prerequisite for creating and maintaining cell membranes. If omega is good brain fat, long-term consumption of other fats like trans fats and saturated fats can damage the brain. Meanwhile, proteins and amino acids, important source of nutrition for growth, control the way we perceive and manifest. Amino acids contain neurotransmitter precursors, is a chemical that carries signals between neurons, affect things like mood, sleep, attention and weight. One of the reasons we find peace after eating a large spaghetti and more alert after a high-protein meal. Complex linkages between feed compounds can stimulate brain cells to produce mood regulators like norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. However, it is difficult to enter the brain cells and amino acids have to compete. Varied diets help keep balance between the binding of brain signals, and keep the mood stable. Like other organs in the body, the brain also makes use of nutrients from micronutrients. Antioxidants in fruits and vegetables increase brain power against free radical damage, helps brain function effectively for a long time. Lack of important micronutrients like vitamin B6, B12, folic acid, our brain will be more susceptible to brain diseases and dementia. Mineral elements like iron, copper, zinc, and sodium is also important for brain health and cognitive development. To effectively transform and synthesize these valuable nutrients, the brain desperately needs energy. Although only accounting for 2% of body weight, the brain uses up to 20% of the energy. Most of this energy comes from carbohydrates, which our body digests from glucose, or blood sugar. The frontal lobe is very sensitive to glucose, so even a small change in intellectual function is one of the signals of the lack of nutrients. Just think that you digest glucose regularly, so, how does each type of carbohydrate affect our brain? Carbohydrates come in three forms: starch, street and fiber. In most nutrition notes, it is combined into the total amount of carbohydrates, but actually, the ratio of sugar, fiber to total amount is what affects the body and brain. Foods with a high glycemic index like white bread, resulting in rapid release of glucose into the bloodstream causing hypoglycemia. Low blood sugar makes our ability to focus and mood go down. On the other hand, oats, grains and legumes release glucose more slowly, should be able to keep the ability to concentrate at a stable level. To maintain brain activity, choosing a nutritious diet is an important factor. The things you bite, chew and digest, have both direct and long-term effects onto this most important part of your body.